Hello, squirrels and squirrelettes, or should I say, sugar gliders and sugar gliderettes. Sugarettes? Cigarette? That sounds too much like cigarettes. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that. Bink. Bink. Oh look, you can see my. Oh look, you can see my my freaking awesome neon light in the background. Look at that. That's me. That's my neon light up there. Like maybe I can pan up. I want you guys to see my neon light. No. Tilt. Tilting. No, it's not letting me do the tilt. Why didn't I know to do the tilt? I will tilt you manually. Aha, my neon light. Yes. The bestest of lights. That's my green screen. I know you can't really see it, technically, you know, because it's like a green screen, but it's there. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. My camera resets all the time. I have no clue why it does it. It never stays. The settings never stay. I need to download. There's a little app I can download that supposedly will help it not be a terrible, evil terribleness. Phone died. Kyle. You missed my whole comment about sugar gliders and sugar gliderettes. See? This is what you get. This is what you get. You don't get nothing. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have nice things. It's probably that monster screen. I bet you got like the biggest screen edition. How big of a screen edition can we get? That's what you got, right? Like the monster mega screen edition. That's why I go with the smaller screen. The batteries last longer. The batteries last just a wee bit. Just a wee bit longer. A wee little bit. Just a wee little bit. Just a wee little bit. Just a wee little bit. Guy's like, sure you don't want the like 18-inch screen model? And I'm like, no, just give me the regular screen model. He's like, but the very big screen has the big screen, and I'm like, I know it has the big screen, but it also has like 1 hour battery life. Okay, I want the regular screen, please. I want the regular screen. Fits in my pocket better. Like, I will fight you. Don't make me fight. There, 1,300 followers over on Twitch. I know followers don't mean anything, because I literally only have one person watching on Twitch right now. Hello, one Twitch person. Hello, one person on Twitch. That one guy. That one whole guy. You were important, one guy. Don't let nobody tell you you're not important. Don't let let nobody tell you nothing. You know, it's funny, back when I first started playing or streaming, there literally would be days I wouldn't have anybody. Like, literally 0 people in watching. And I would just be like, bye, guys! It's like tears streamed down my face. Because there was nobody, but you had to pretend like there's somebody. Even when there's nobody, you gotta pretend like there's somebody. Nobody want to watch somebody who's nobody's watching. You'd be like, you! Viewers like you! And like, who am I pointing at? A ghost, apparently. That ghost over there. The one that's in the back. Yeah, he's watching. He's watching. A ghost is watching. There's a ghost. His name is Jeb. Okay? Jeb the ghost. And don't you make fun of Jeb. He has plans. He's going to make something of himself. He's got people to possess. He's got a 10-part plan to freedom.
I can't carry anymore.
My what? 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 21% magic find with 3% lifesteal. I'm playing my Necromancer, yes. My Necromancer. I need to pull up my Holy Grail website so I can mark down the items that I find. Yes. Excellent. In the Holy Grail of Montezuma. I need to pull up my Holy Grail. I got to pull up my Holy Grail. Bink. Hey, there it is. There's my Holy Grail. Keep me logged in, please. Thank you. Sweet. Alright, we're set up. Meow, 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 meow. 2 rares. Couldn't have been a unique. Only need like every unique in the game. At least once. But no. Self-found only. SWP Gaming. That's the fun of the Grail. The fun through clenched teeth. The fun. At least that's the rule that I'm self-imposing on myself. Some people will impose various rules on themselves, like, for instance, they'll allow trading. They will allow, you know, like various things that will be like added into their Grail. I'm not going to allow trading. That's silly. I want to find the items. Shanky Poo. Ooh, a circlet. I like circlets. Oh, I can't even identify it. Can you join to steal my glory? I feel like you would actually steal my glory. +1 to Amazon, 7% lifesteal with 21 strength. Not exactly terrible, but not exactly good for level 65. I do like that 21 strength on it, though. That's kind of a lot of strength for a circlet. If anybody wants that, you're more than welcome to it. I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It'd be better if it was +2, but... That's right, Cosmic87. Let's go. Trending Diablo 2.
Afternoon.
I gotta make some outrageously crazy thumbnail, like you'll never believe, and then like I'll be like pointing to something, and it'll be like blurred out, like that'll work, right? Like you'll never believe, and then literally it's just like a blurred out object. I'd get everybody to click. You watch. I was watching something on Mr. Beast one day. It was like Mr. Beast and like somebody else, and they were talking about like thumbnails, and like apparently Mr. Beast prepares like 4 or 5 thumbnails in advance for his videos, and then like swaps them out to see which one performs better, and they're all absolutely, you know, ridiculous Mr. Beast style, where he's like, cracked Monarch Shield, boys! Come and get your cracked Monarch Shield. I know you want it. Woohoo, baby! You can be the first to have a cracked Spirit Shield. Ah, there's so many! Stop being rude to me! You're rude, you're all rudes. They're terrible. Give me all your gold, too. How could you not drop even one rare item? Got like 1,000,000 magic find. 1,000,000. 1,000,000. Just start making the cringiest thumbnails. Come on, Rockanishu, don't let me down. Hello, Rockanishu. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime lightning. I got a proc for you. That's where I die. What's up, Mr. Rust Touch the Tainted? This boy his name was Rust Touch the Tainted. Sounds absolutely expert level. Rust Touch the Tainted. Avenger God. Sucks. Hey, a unique item. Cerebus Bite. Ooh. Not a bad unique item at that. I like Cerebus Bites. I like bites of a Cerebus. The bite of Cerebuses. Bink. It's only +2. It's kind of a sucky one. What's up, CJ? How goes it, sir? Unique armor, helmets, Cerebus Bites. Where you at? Where you at, Cerebus? Oh, it's gonna be in pelts. It's gonna be in pelts, isn't it? Cerberus. Druado. Save. I'm marking everything down when I find the uniques. A gender fluid squid. I'll remember that. I'll squirt ink at him. That way we'll have a nice conversation about that. He'd be like, look, dude, that's not cool. You can't just be squirting ink unless you mean it. Because you can't be putting somebody's hopes up. Skill try. Thanks for tuning in. What's up, Rockin' Nishu? Superior Grimlocked. Poopy.
I need mana.
Die. You didn't drop me nothing good, Rockin' Nishu. You never do. You're always rude. Have a little bit of Griswold. Get him, boys! Oh, you can't explode Griswold's corpse? Oh, that's rude. Whoever said I can't explode Griswold's corpse, that's just rude. Yeah, Cal seems like a good place to do some Holy Grail action. The holiest of grail.
Yes.
Poison Nova Skelly Hybrid for MFing. I don't have any of the equipment for a Poison Nova Necromancer, Kyle.
I can't.
I can see where you're going with. You're going what you're going for there, but I really don't have any of the equipment for Poison Necromancer. I don't have a Death's Web. I don't have a Bramble. I don't have. I don't even have Trang's gloves anymore. I don't think. Pretty sure I gave them away. You would be asking me to commit seppuku. Besides, isn't it just the same thing with extra steps? I mean, aren't at the end of the day, aren't I just still using Corpse Explosion anyway? Oh, Cow King, oh, Cow King. I want to kill you, Cow King. It may not be Christmas anymore, but your head adorns my door. Oh, Cow King, oh, Cow King. I want to kill you and take your stuff. Wow. Wow. Wah. I actually had a really dumb idea of a poison dagger necromancer that spams poison novas. I thought it would be pretty fun. The general idea would be to have basically an item that procs poison novas. I'm thinking about that new rune word, the plague rune word, which procs poison novas. So you'd build max poison dagger, which of course would also give you max poison nova, and you would just run in stabbing things all the time. And every time you stab, you would proc poison novas, So you'd have the massive damage from the Poison Dagger, and then you'd also get the AoE damage from the Poison Nova. And then, of course, you could offhand Corpse Explosion and lower resistance. I haven't really gone into PD2 or Path of Diablo because I really just don't want to pervert my my knowledge of Diablo 2. Poison Novas do not stack, no, but Poison Dagger is a single target ability, and Poison Nova is an AoE ability. So I would stab with the dagger, doing a massive amount of single target poison damage, and then the Poison Nova would come out and do the AoE damage to the rest of the targets for me. I was always under the impression that the highest damage poison is the one that takes precedent. Wouldn't the Poison Daggers poison take precedent over the Poison Novas? Poison Daggers should be higher. Especially considering that the Nova will be not level 20. It's the one that's on the Venom rune word, the Plague rune word, whatever it was. The general idea of the build is to utilize the Plague rune word along with Poison Dagger, Poison Nova, lower resistance. In fact, I might not even have to cast lower resistance because the dagger has lower resistance on it. I could spend those points somewhere else. Level 12 lower resistance is really high. I'm sure I have the picture of it still here. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys to look at. Yeah, there it is. So it's a 25% chance to cast level 15 Poison Nova on striking, which is really high. So we're talking about like almost every single time just about I attack with Poison Dagger, I should be getting a Poison Nova proc along with it. So one really high single target hit, and then basically the ability to deal with the AoE monsters. Because that's one of the big downsides of Poison Dagger. No matter how strong Poison Dagger is, it's still only a single hit. And that's what I was thinking in my head, is that it's just a single hit. Poison Nova beats it every time because you're dishing out a huge amount of poison damage to a large number of targets. And this is just a way that I was thinking I could have my cake and eat it too. So I could still have the high single target damage of the Poison Dagger while also going for the relatively high AoE damage of the Nova, and the Nova should be synergized as well. And I was also thinking about combining it with Venom. Actually, I'm not sure if Venom would mess up the Poison Nova. I know it helps Poison Dagger, but I'm not sure if it would actually mess up Poison Nova. I have to research that. I can't remember if I can't remember how Venom and Poison Nova interact with each other. It could be a good interaction, because if we're working under the premise that I'm going to be spamming Novas, reducing the duration and decreasing the damage so that it attacks more often might actually be beneficial to the way that the build works, because I'm going to be in there stabbing over and over again, and I want to be able to stab quite fast. It's something to play around with. It'll be something that I play around with eventually, when it comes out. Vile drool the hunger. Oh, you just gonna teleport out, sucker? What's up, Lil? Oh yeah, it's gonna be a fang knife because that's the only 3-socket dagger. I believe it's even in the game. So it would have to be an elite dagger, which basically is the elite Chris. I actually have a 3-socket fang knife waiting. Open wounds would definitely be nice to go along with everything. I am indeed. I made a Sanic the Hooge Hag video, which I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of my Sanic the Hooge Hag video. And now I'm playing a little bit of Holy Grail, because why not? Plus, I solved my my bandwidth streaming issue earlier, which I don't know what the hell was going on, but I solved that issue. Come on, Cow King! I haven't gotten a single unique from the cow level. You better pony up. Pony up, sucker. And he ain't dropped me nothing, just a bunch of rares. Yeah, mama's a... Ethereal gloves. Ethereal repairs durability gloves, okay. With nothing really that great on them, but... F repairs durability. Okay. And a battle dart. And nothing really else on them. Basically like the best of the large charms, Vanquish. I had this conversation with somebody before. Yes, large charms do have terrible stat allocation. But if you find a god roll large charm with like the best rolls possible, there's a very good chance you're still going to work it into your build anyway. Because nobody has like an entire inventory full of all res 7% MF small chamois. It just doesn't work out that way. So if you were to find, for instance, a +8 all resistance large charm with like 10% magic find, you would probably use it, right? So I always check. There's all sorts of different combinations of large charms that can actually be fairly nice. It's just that a lot of the times they end up not being fairly nice. But I mean, granted, wow, 79 to mana, 12 29 ring, I'll take it. But granted, you know, a lot of charms end up being bad. How many grand charms and small charms have you picked up that are crap, that you would never put on anybody? 1% MF grand charms and stuff. So, you know, if you don't pick them up and you don't check, then you're not going to know whether it's a freaking 8 all resistance, 26 life large charm. People walk right by them. They don't even bother to pick them up. They don't even bother to identify them. And I really don't understand. Maybe if you were rocking a full inventory of perfect charms, I could see it. If you were rocking a full inventory of perfect charms already, then yeah, fine. Pass by every single large charm that you see. But 99,999 out of 100,000 people do not have perfect charms in their inventory, and there's a very good chance that that large charm is going to be better than what you have if it rolls perfect. And they can roll perfect. Alright, well, Cow King, cow level, you have let me down. I'm very sad. I'm very sad. Okay, I don't know why you let me down like this. It's terrible. It's terrible. Alright, it's terrible. You didn't drop me nothing good. Nothing. Nothing. Not a dangle, dangle, dangle. I remember back in the day, I used to play a lot of RPGs, way more than probably I think most people have ever even know exist, let alone have played. But there's always those certain games that like anytime anybody dies, they just let you pick up everything that the person has on them. It doesn't matter. Like it's literally every single item that the monster has on them that you can pick up, and man, I never went to town without like an entirely full inventory of everything. I'd be like, oh, every single person in this particular dungeon has chainmail armor, chain boots, chain gloves, and a full cap, huh? Okay, well, walking back to town, like I go to the vendor and I've got like 32 chainmails and 32 chain boots all covered in blood, and the vendor doesn't even bat an eye. He's not even concerned. He's like, I'll give you 32 gold for the lot.
Demons about it.
Skyrim is like that. Oh dear lord, especially in the later levels. Like in the early levels, the gear that the players have on is absolutely garbage. But eventually you get to the level in Skyrim where like every single person you kill is dropping like glass armor and like obsidian and eventually like Daedric pieces of armor and stuff, and they're just like everybody just has Daedric armor. Like, oh okay, everybody's super rich, I see. And you'll just be carrying back like 18 full suits of glass, like ebony and freaking like dragon armor. What's up, Trustworthy? Oh lord, holy freeze. I played a bit of World of Warcraft. I didn't particularly care for it compared to some of the other MMOs that were out at the time. I did like 11 years in Final Fantasy 11. I did like another 11 years in Lord of the Rings Online with a little bit of overlap between the two. Did like 3 years in EVE Online. I did like 3 or 4 years in Final Fantasy 14 online. That one was pretty fun. I actually really enjoyed Final Fantasy 11 though. 11 I think was one of my favorites. Lord of the Rings Online was great the first couple years, like 3 or 4 years, and then it really started to fall out. It was not that great. It is not that great now. They've really kind of terribly mutated that game. It always made me sad too, because Lord of the Rings Online had so many unique things about it. They were just these unique things that that you had never seen in any other MMO, and every single time they made a patch, Lord of the Rings Online got a little closer to World of Warcraft. And every single time World of Warcraft made a patch, they got a little bit closer to Lord of the Rings. Like they literally took Lord of the Rings' skill system. They literally took the legendary weapons that were like levelable and upgradable and stuff like that. And at the same time that Lord of the Rings got rid of their features, World of Warcraft was adding them into the game, and it literally made me think that there was some sort of contract between Lord of the Rings and Blizzard, and they were literally trading features. Like at some point or another, like the CEO of Blizzard called up Turbine and was like we really want like that feature you've got, but you can't have it anymore. You can use ours, and we're gonna steal yours. All right, we'll pay you like $10 million. And Turbine's like, sure, you can have it, and they just edited it out of the game. Because literally that's what it felt like. It felt like every single time Turbine made an update, it was like reverting like the uniqueness of the game and becoming more like Warcraft. And every time World of Warcraft had an update around the same time, they were literally incorporating the features that made Lord of the Rings Online unique into itself, and it just didn't make any sense to me. EST, Charles. Charles. Come on and give me something good for my holy grail. I need something like a Griffin's Ideoderm. I've already found one, but I need a second. Give me like 2 or 3 for my game. Is this the smallest pit ever, or did I miss a turn-off somewhere? I missed a turn-off. My bad. Superior fury by the... And y'all ain't dropped me nothing good yet. Champions? Champions. Fascia. You better check them. Could be something good. It's not. Demon Hide Gloves? Could be something good. It's not. There's so many could-be items in this game. Items that that could be absolutely amazing, but usually are not. That you pick up anyway, just to make sure that they're not amazing, but they're usually not. Like every single pair of blue gloves, I always pick up every single pair of blue gloves because they can be pretty awesome. You can find +3 skills with 20% IS on them, and they're just really sweet gloves. But they don't spawn very often, you know. Got my first griffins in Ancient Tunnels. Maybe I should go back there and try for round 2. Round D. That's the second Savage helmet that's dropped that's been rare. 2 to natural res, 1 to increase speed, level 32. See, CJ knows what I'm talking about. CJ is aware of the existence of the hyper rare blue gloves. He knows. Give me that key. Yeah, we might run through Chaos. That's actually a pretty good place to go. What the hell's going on over here? Fine, don't drop me anything good. All blues. Blues, blues, blues. This is not Blues Clues. This is you gonna drop me stuff or else. Well, thank you, Charles. I appreciate it, man. I'm coming out with new ones every single day, so you know. Tomorrow we've got a couple new unique item videos coming up. Since you guys are watching, I'll give you a sneak peek. So tomorrow is going to be. You click on the thing. Blood Raven's Charge, Crown of Ages, and the Buriza do Canyon. Those are going to be tomorrow. And I have not worked out what I'm going to be making for the next day. I'm still in the process of doing a little bit of editing, but I'll probably record some videos soon. Busy, busy, busy like a bee, bee, bee. That one's actually coming up soon, too. I just need to edit it back in. It was actually on the docket list, and I had edited it in, but I accidentally edited in a elite version of the bow, and I wanted to talk about the regular version. It's coming up, too. I will say this about Lycanders, it's an exceptionally ordinary bow. It doesn't really have a lot of like unique characteristics, nothing like super duper ooper duper special about it that makes it like stand out among other bows, but it's just an exceptionally good like regular bow.
I need a key.
You know, it's not like it has fanaticism on it. It doesn't have, you know, like it doesn't have a bonus to, you know, some sort of like crushing blow or open wounds. It doesn't have any like special effects on it that make it like absolutely amazing in some particular way. But it's certainly not a bad bow by any stretch of the imagination. It's just an exceptionally good ordinary bow. Like, it reminds me of, like, if I were, like, running along and I just found, a rare bow on the ground and it rolled with, like, perfect stats. It's, like, a really good rare bow. Like, a really, really good rare bow. Well, my Necromancer is my magic finding character. And when you're doing Grail, you just usually want to try your magic find character. I don't have another magic find character at this particular moment. I can always build one. Well, expect that one tomorrow, Char. So it's going to be, I think I've got it set up for around 8 o'clock tomorrow. Should be, as long as all the editing and stuff goes correct, it should be 8 tomorrow. Well, I certainly did not mean to go to qualify for Temple. Although I can kick some urns. Extreme urn kicking ensues! Look here, Fire Tower. Have a little bit of this. Feel the fury of my army of the undead. I always used to make it a point to kill those things, like a sign of dominance. They'd be like, you may be nearly indestructible, but you will not stand in my way. You shall not. Ow! Mana burn. Mana burn. Well placed mana shrine.
I need a key.
Well, it's like, take High Lord's Wrath, for instance. High Lord's Wrath is an amulet, right? If you take away Deadly Strike off of High Lord's Wrath, it's just a really nice amulet. It's not like a special amulet. It doesn't have any, like, super duper special bonuses on it that make it, like, that much better than a lot of other things that you could equip into that slot. The Deadly Strike is really what makes that item. And that's kind of what's going on with Lycanders, is it just doesn't really have anything super duper special. It does a lot of really nice effects on it, don't get me wrong. You know, it's got plus to skills, and it's got a whole bunch of things that you see on just about every other set of bows in really nice amounts and a really nice, you know, proportions. But it's still at the end of the day, it's still just a really nice regular bow. Will you stop shooting me with fireballs? What's your best drop of the day? Oh, chat. You're asking chat. Well, my best drop right now is literally Cerebus Bite. I think that's the only unique item I've... that's the only unique item I think I've found. Unique or set that I've found so far. I'm doing absolutely horrible today. And after I say that, watch something really crazy drop like Tyrael's Might or something stupid. Or like Mang Soong's Lesson. Be like, quit your complaining here. It's interesting. Like, I feel like the attack rating bonus could be clutch for a character that really needs the attack rating. But at the same time, I feel like it has really strong competition with Jala's Mane. Jala's Mane is just a really strong competition helmet. That's one of the issues with Druids, is when you look at other helmets, it's really hard to compete with Jalal's Mane. It's just such a broken helmet. And I do feel that Cerebus Bite does compete with Jalal's. It seems like it's very strictly related to how your character's built. Whereas, literally, Jalal's is almost good no matter what character you're on. Even if you're like an elemental druid, you can use that helmet and still have a pretty nice time. Tong Yang, I'm telling you, man, I've heard this so many times that literally, I feel like whenever I mention something to people, it just automatically drops for them. I'm willing the items into existence. I'm over here just like, yes, you must get this item. Sounds like you should go watch my Tyrael's Might video over and over again. That's what it sounds like. So how's everybody doing today? In time, Tong Yang, okay, in time. I will get every item in time. Every item. All items. One day I will have no more videos to make because all the items will be done. It's funny, I can like when I release the videos, I know that the popular items are going to get more views than the non-popular items. Like, I already know. I'm not silly. And so like I'll release something silly like Treads of Seathon, and it'll get like maybe like 500 views. And then I'll release something really popular like I don't know, like Andariel's Visage or something like that, or Tyrael's Might, and it has like 7,000 views on it. And I know that I could literally just nitpick all of the very popular items out, and I could just get easy views for each one of those items. But I'm not going to. I'm going to do every single item, including the ones that nobody wants to look at, because I think it's really cool to look at those items that are hidden away and don't get a lot of love. They're getting love on this channel, and that's all there is to it. Got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Gonna kick all the urns and hit you in the back. Gold rune, yes! The gollest of runes. The gold. Was that half of X? Half of X rune. Not what I came here for, but I'll take it. You can't tell me I'm gonna make it. Not what I came here for, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. On how to get a burr rune and then say that's how you get a burr rune? What? I'm confused. How do we get a burr rune? Bing, 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 bing. Oh, we going on a spree, boys. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. +7 to attack rating, 1 to 19 lightning damage. It's awful. I hate it. Thanks. One to strength. Gemalems. What about my gemalems? I'm always gathering gemalems. And I craft stuff all the time. All the time I be crafting. Cause I be rolling. And they be hating. I've crafted some pretty good stuff before. Terrible rolls. Give me a good roll, please. And the survey says... terrible. I might be insane, but I'll keep going. I might be insane, but I keep on shoveling. Probably insane, but I keep on shoveling. Probably insane, but I keep on going. Probably insane, but I keep on rolling. Probably insane, and I keep on rolling. Poop. Nothing but poop. They do work, but I like to save those for the rares. 6 perfect skulls is the ability to reroll 1 rare item. You can do circlets and stuff like that, which is pretty good. I collect so many gems that it's really not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. They rebuild so fast that before I even know what's going on, I'm full again. And that's really why I got rid of them, because I literally fill up way too darn fast with this stuff. Way too darn fast. I pick up every single gem, and then before I know it, I'm full again. All right, where are we going next? Yeah, 6 perfect skulls and like a rare diadem. You can re-roll it, and you can try and get good stats. I don't sell things for 4 gold, Vanquish. I don't even go on JSP, man. I don't even go there. I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't like to. I want to just play the game. I want to have fun. I don't want to do all that. back in the old days, I used to cheat all the time on video games, and really took the fun out of the game. And I don't really know how to put it other than that. It takes the fun out of the game for me. There's and there's not such a fine line between cheating and playing the game as a lot of people would think. And I'm not like strictly calling JSP cheating, because I'm sure if I said that, I would get but it gives you the same feeling. Like when you go into like I don't know, like Grand Theft Auto, and you use all the cheat codes, and you walk around as like God mode, the game gets boring. Did PTR get boring already? I mean, we did a really good amount of testing. We spent all the 8 hours on there trying to crash the server. I feel like we did a pretty good job. So it's like this, Vanquish. Imagine you could have the most powerful items that you could possibly use in a game, and you walk around one-shotting everything and just murdering everything. And not only do you have like the best items, but they're like the perfect versions of the best items, because you know when people sell stuff on JSP, they're trying to get the most money they can, so they're selling like the perfect versions of those items. There's people on JSP that have so much money in forum gold, essentially, that they can literally just buy whatever they want and build whatever characters they want at any time, and they play the characters and they're so broken OP that they just walk through the game laughing as everything dies in front of them like they're some sort of Greek god. What I'm trying to say is that when you cheat, the games get boring, and when you buy all your items, the games get boring. It's no different. They are equivalently the same. And ladder is cheating. So when you use JSP on ladder, you basically are cheating. And I'll explain this one to you. So the point of ladder is for everyone to start a race. Everyone in the race starts at the same starting point. The people who spend JSP forum gold on items that they have accumulated previous to the time that they ladder started are essentially using something that shouldn't have existed. So ladder is a fresh start. It's supposed to be a complete and utter fresh economy where no one owns anything and no one has any currency built up. So, you know, everything that you get in ladder from the point of the race forward would be not cheating. But anything that you get previous to the start of the race to use in the race is essentially cheating. And since not everyone uses JSP, you essentially have an unfair advantage against anyone who is not using JSP, and there's millions of people that don't use JSP. So here's where you're kind of wrong about this as well. So let's say you don't buy anything during the ladder, right? So let's say instead of buying anything, you sell everything, which is a common tactic, right? So let's say instead of buying anything, just anything that you find early on in the game. So let's say like day one, somehow, you know, you kill Hell Rakanishu, and Rakanishu drops you a Shaco Harlequin crest. You take your Harlequin crest Shaco, you post it on the website, and you get like some massive amount of forum gold for it, because it's like a day one Shaco, and there's some guy on there, he's got 5,000 forum gold to spare, and he's just going to buy your day one Shaco for 5,000 forum gold. Then you use the 5,000 forum gold to kit out your character. It's the same exact thing. The guy with the 5,000 forum gold accumulated that before the ladder ever started, and he gave you his basically cheated amount of money. I'll pretend to be a dog. Because think about it logically. Let's say you found a Shaco Harlequin quest on day 1. Who are you going to trade that to in the game? Not for forum gold currency. Who is going to have an item that would be worth that item? So who could you, in the game, trade that item to? Chances are no one in the game is going to have an item that is worth what that Harlequin Quest Chakra is worth. So there is absolutely no way on day 1 that you would be able to get what that item is worth in value. Nobody's going to have a Jaw Rune laying around on day 1 to trade for your Harlequin Quest, and it's probably worth more than a Jaw Rune anyway on day 1 because it's a very powerful magic find item. Oh, yeah, let's do Chaos. That's right, Chaos. Chaos! Bink. You know what it reminds me of, and this is a pretty funny example. Did any of you guys ever watch the TV show MASH? No, you don't lose your old characters, Tongue Yang, if you do ladder. In fact, when the ladder ends, your ladder character joins your old characters, and you get to play them all at the same time. So in the TV show MASH, there was this whole episode where the military used this currency called scrit. Let me type that down to make sure you guys, because I know it's kind of a weird word. It's called scrit, and apparently scrit is a form of military currency that is used in foreign countries, so that the like the regular money doesn't proliferate through the particular country that they're in. So the entire purpose of this currency is to prevent the United States or whatever country is there to be like manipulating the value of the currency that's already in the place, or for our currency to usurp their currency or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But the moral of the story is this scrit is fake money. It's only used inside the military usually, and it's supposed to have no value to the local residents. So it's only supposed to be used by military personnel. And what they would do is every certain number of months or I can't remember exactly what the time period was on it, they would exchange the scrit for another form of scrit. So like if they had red one particular month, then they would go to blue, and then they would go to green or something like that. They would slowly change it out, and only the military was allowed to change it out, right? So only the military members could actually change out the scrit, but the foreigners, the people who lived in that particular country, the native residents of the country, would have a whole bunch of the scrit stored up, and they wanted to get rid of it because they knew that once it changed out, it was going to be no good. And the kind of like crooked military personnel would go and buy the scrit from the people for like 1/4 of what it was worth, and then go trade it in and get the value for it. And because only the military personnel could, and the foreigners couldn't do anything about it. And it kind of reminds me of the whole JSP scenario, because you've got people who don't use JSP and who don't even know what JSP is. They're kind of like the foreigners or the native residents of the country. You've got like the JSP like rich people, which is like the government issuing the scrit, and then you've got the like the JSP traders, or like the military personnel who's like swapping the items in and out and making sure that they've got like the newest currency on the market. Like, could you imagine? Let's use a really interesting example. So let's say I was a person who didn't use JSP, who doesn't know much about the game, but on day 1 of the ladder, I got the most luckiest of lucky drops in the world. I'm clearing hell, chaos, or something like that, and I kill an elite, and he drops a Griffin's Eye Diadem. perfect Griffin's Eye diadem, and I go into a trade game, and I'm trying to trade this perfect Griffin's Eye diadem, and nobody really has anything that's worth the Griffin's Eye diadem. And even though I don't necessarily know how much it's worth, I do know that it's rare and it's valuable, and I'm trying to get, you know, something nice for it. And eventually somebody who is a JSP trader comes along, and he knows what I have. He knows the value of what I have, and he's not going to tell me. He's going to try and trade me, you know, some garbage that he has in his inventory for it. And maybe I don't particularly need it at the moment, so I'm willing to let it go for maybe something a little bit cheaper than what it really is worth. But he eventually gets it for something stupid, like maybe he trades me like a, I don't know, let's say a Viper Magi, like a 25 all-res Viper Magi for it, and I take it. And then he takes that the freaking perfect Griffin's Eye diadem, turns around, sells it on JSP for like 10,000 form gold or some crazy number. And then goes and outfits his whole account with the gold later. Like that's kind of the silly stuff that goes on. Like, you know, the people who don't know what the items are worth kind of just get exploited by the people who do. This one guy was commenting on one of my videos for Death's Web, and he was like, I literally just sold one of those to NPC, and it had 50 negative enemy poison resistance, and I was like, you might want to get that back. I would argue that a trade website that does not use a form of currency would be equally as utilitarian and wouldn't come with the same type of exploitation that a currency system allows. See, let's take, for instance, a ladder example, right? So if you had a ladder character who finds an item, and he puts it on a website to trade for another item, trade for trade, essentially. He would essentially be only trading for other items that also exist within that ladder, which means that there would be no extraneous, like, unfair play going on. The person who has the item would be trading for another person who has an item in the ladder. Both items were found in the ladder legitimately. Neither one was purchased with outside form gold, which may or may not be illegitimate, essentially, in that ladder. So when you make a trade like that, trade for trade, inside the ladder, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But when you sell something inside the ladder, or you buy something inside the ladder, there's a very good chance you're doing it with currency that shouldn't exist within that particular ladder scenario. Ring and a pair of gauntlets. Not going to turn down either of those. 20 life, 52 mana, 2 res, attract charges. Not really that great, but meh. +1 bow and crossbow skills with nothing else. Foo. Here's the other thing that JSP screws with, in my opinion, and this is one a lot of people don't think of. So when you are capable of amassing currency, it creates a situation where people want to amass currency, right? So it's not just that you can, it's that it makes people want to. So once you get into a situation where you want to amass currency, you're in a whole nother zone. Right? So why do you think the bots came about in the first place? The bots didn't come about just because people wanted to find every single item in the game. The bots came about because people wanted to sell them for currency. They wanted to sell them for money. They wanted to amass something. And literally the JSP currency allows for people to amass money, right? So where do you think all the bots came from that completely and utterly devastated the original Diablo II Classic? They came from people who were trying to farm JSP currency. Lance of your guy. Good. I can mark that off my list. A lot of people like to think that it's not related, but it is. It's all quite related. When you have a system in place that allows people to... actually, I already have that marked off on my list. Look at that. Dark Clan Crusher. Dark Clan Crusher. Dark Clan Crusher. It's all linked together. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't think it's all linked together, but it is. It's very much all linked together in one giant circle. When you have a system in place that allows people to amass currency, people will want to amass currency. And when you allow people to amass currency, it leads to other interesting things that start to happen. The bot problem gets out of hand. People all want to amass currency. They're all botting. They're all starting to look for perfect items. I don't know if you remember, but in Diablo II Classic, it got to the point where nobody wanted any item that wasn't a perfect version of that item. And if you are unfamiliar as to why, it's because literally the bot problem got so bad that literally everybody was botting, and all the items that were dropping that weren't perfect were getting thrown away. Because why? Because they weren't worth anything on JSP. Everybody was posting perfect items or nearly perfect items, so nobody wanted the imperfect items anymore, or they didn't sell for enough, so it wasn't cost effective to hold on to the imperfect items anymore, so they were chucking them or selling them to NPC and then using the gold for gambling or whatever, which is pretty hilarious. I mean, imagine, if you will, you found a 7% MF small charm. Would you sell a 7% MF small charm to the NPC? You'd probably keep it, right, for your MF character. You'd be like, ooh, 7% MF small charm. Well, the bots were in Classic were literally selling 7% MF small charms to the NPC. They didn't want them. They were looking for 7% MF all resistance 5 charms. They wanted the best and only the best. The best of the best. Ow! Everybody already had everything during the ladder. Like, I was literally playing ladder Vanquish. I wasn't playing non-ladder, where literally all the items amass until the end of time. Till the end of time. Huh. I did indeed see large numbers of items at the start of ladder. Like within 2 weeks or 3 weeks of ladder's launch, actually honestly within a week of ladder's launch, everybody was already running around with enigmas, and they already had freaking full gear. It was ridiculous. Like 1 week, like, it was about all it took for everyone to be running around with enigmas. And infinities. Which is really obvious by the green aura underneath of their feet. And if you don't believe me, it's all on videotape. The entire last ladder that I took place in, the last ladder of Diablo II Classic before Diablo II Resurrected, I had recorded the entire thing, I think up to 2 weeks into the ladder, if I remember correctly. I think I might have stopped recording it about 2 weeks into the ladder. about 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks. I'm trying to remember because I want to be precise, but I'm pretty sure it was about 2 weeks. It might have been a little bit longer than 2 weeks, like 15 or 16 days or something. NIS jewel. And you know, those are the items that like honestly can't get mad at anybody for selling. Like if you found a ring and it was worth that much money, there's no way you're going to be able to get the trade value for it in game. Even if somebody filled their entire trade screen with jaw runes, it's probably not going to add up to how much value that particular item has. So, you know, I can totally understand you taking an item like that and selling it on like like eBay or something, trying to get its full value. That makes sense to me. And there are items in the game that are that rare. There really are. Like they're super duper ridiculously rare to like to a fault. But what it really comes down to is that literally some of these items I've been looking for my entire life. Like, since I've been playing this game, I've been identifying, like, every single one of these items, looking for those perfect rolls, looking for the, you know, just the right stats on the item. And I know that it's possible, but it just never happens. I don't know. I've spent a long time in gaming, a really, really long time in gaming, and I've come to this conclusion: if what you're doing offers you an unfair advantage over another player, and it is not something that they can learn or do through experience. In other words, if it's not apparent to them, if it's something that they would not learn on their own without being told by another player, it constitutes an unfair advantage. And an unfair advantage is just something that sucks, and it always has. It's not going to ever not suck. Take for instance, I can use an example from Diablo 2. So in the original Diablo 2, I think they've changed it now, so don't take this to mean Diablo 2 Resurrected. But in Diablo 2 Classic, there was a weapon swap glitch that allowed you to bypass a stun, right? So if you were PvPing versus a character who was trying to stun lock you, you could swap your weapons, and by spamming the swap key, you could effectively break the stun, and you could essentially use it as a form of almost like stun immunity, I guess. And this particular thing was not something that was apparent to anyone. Like, if you weren't told that this was a thing, there's a very good chance you probably never were going to know that it existed. And that's the kind of thing that constitutes a unfair advantage against other players. It just it just is. If the player has absolutely no way of learning this on their own, there's absolutely no way for them to learn or to grow through experience with this particular ability, then it's not something that should be in a game. And if I remember correctly, in Diablo II Resurrected, they kind of took it away and they fixed it, which I feel like was a good move. Because although I do feel like it was necessary, don't get me wrong, it was necessary because in the original Diablo 2, you could literally stun lock people. And stun locking someone in PvP sucks. Like if you can literally lock someone in a stun forever, what fun is that in any kind of game? And most games usually have some type of like diminishing returns attached to stuns, or you know, just various things that will make the stun diminish or not be as effective if used repeatedly for like over a certain period of time. And Diablo 2 just never had that. Looks like I already have Catherine's Mesh. They were explaining it like we would have some temporary game tabs, Tongyang. So basically, like when the ladder ends, like we'll have like some little temporary tabs that will probably say like ladder or something on them. And apparently, they were talking about giving us one ladder cycle to take care of the items, which is a pretty long and generous time period. So you're talking about 4 months. Which is how long they said the ladder cycles were going to be. So you got 4 months to deal with those items in some way, shape, or form before they disappear. Which I feel like is a really generous time frame. And Lister is immune to physical. Mean Lister. Well, there never was shared stashes before Tongyang, so there was only player stashes, which is a whole different ball game. When you're talking about player stashes, you know, player stashes are easy. To deal with those, you know, you just leave the player stash on the character. There's nothing really special about it. But with the shared stash, shared stash is across your entire account, and I think they knew that was going to be an issue because they're trying to figure out a way to go about it. They also talked about another solution, which was to give us access to like an extra shared stash tab every ladder. So like every ladder we participate in, we would just get one more shared stash tab, which does sound interesting. But one shared stash tab is not going to hold all the items from ladder, not when it's 3 shared stash tabs. But I do like the idea of getting more shared stash tabs. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy the idea of that. I would potentially, and I've said this before, I would love to have almost an infinite number of shared stash tabs, and if they want to sell them for $5 a pop, I'll take them. I will pay real cash for extra stash tabs. Are you listening, Blizzard? I will pay monies. I will pay monies. I will pay doll hairs. Bale, are you dead yet? I mean, I know that I don't have my full army and everything, and I'm wearing all Magic Find equipment. And, you know, just in general, I don't have any attack skills. Here, let me shoot some bone teeth at you. How about that? A little bit of bone teeth, a little bit of harm, a little bit of he'll shoot you in the eye. Give me something good, Bale. Give me something good. I need something nice. Give me something good. I'll put it in rice. 2 set items, of course. Arcana's Lash, which I'm pretty sure I've already found. Yes. And Vidala's Barb, which I don't think I've already found. So Vidala's Barb. Yep, there we go. Vidala's Barb added to the list and saved. Well, I found 1 item, I suppose. The Blood Crescent Moon. I think, did I already do that one? I don't know if I've already done that or not. It's always real easy to check. Blood. Blood Moon, Blood Rise, and Blood Raven's Charge, but no Blood Crescent. So many bloody items. Where's the large charm? Oh. See, that's what I get for not paying attention.
Impossible.
Oh, I was going into town to, you bastard. I was going into town to empty out my stash, because, my character, because I'm full on items. And I left the bow on the ground. Congratulations. Bink, bink, bink. Not you. Don't leave the bow on the ground this time. It's not a good idea or I'll cry. And don't leave the bow on the ground this time. A-doo-doo-doo. And 14% cold is actually really high. I think, what is it? Is it 15 or 14% for the cap on large charms? I remember it's high.
At your service.
I could use that as a filler for various things, I think. I mean, I'd rather it have something else on it, but if I need it as a filler, it's only level 27. It'd make a good cold resistance filler for the time being. Cold resistance filler. Alright, let's go get, what's his face? He actually drops some good stuff sometimes. I'm gonna have to use my teleports. Teleports! Alright, who can tell me the name of the super unique that's at the end of this pathway before I get there? Come on. I'll give you some fanaticism monsters for timing. +2 Hydra. Hey, Harry knows. Thresh socket, that's right. Did I hear a rune? I heard a rune. Where's a rune? I heard a rune drop. Where? No amount of charges. Run for your life, Necromancer. Oh, he's got fanaticism. Look at him being all boss. I don't have teleport. I can't teleport up there. You know what? I'll be right back, Thresh Socket. You don't go anywhere. I gotta feed my teleporting habit. No, I haven't really needed it. Not with the amulet that I've got.
Afternoon.
It was a really sweet find early on in the frickin' Diablo 2 as well. I was actually really proud of this amulet. It's +2 summoning skills, all resistances 14, 27 fire, and it has level 1 teleport charges. It's pretty great. Could be a little bit better, but it's pretty great. +2 traps. Plus, I don't have any trouble with money. Like, gold is not really an issue when it comes to this particular character. I mean, he literally fills up on gold so fast, I'm not even really worried about it. You know, and plus, when a teleport Ami spawns like that, I mean, what are you gonna do? The universe sent me a sign. I saw a sign, and it opened the eyes. It's hard to pass it up when you find the one that you know that has that. I have a perfect Mars, and I still don't use the perfect Mars over this. Perfect Mars is not as good as my teleport enemy. I need the teleport on my Necromancer to really kind of like min-max where my army goes. I mean, I can do without it, but it's much slower. And I like to have the ability to min-max where my army goes. And even just having teleport charges on an amulet allows me to do that with relative ease. Oh, Pindley Bindley. Oh, dang. A rare Corona. A rare Corona and a small chamois.
Good afternoon.
You know what the funny thing is about those crazy rares? People sell them. People sell them to NPC. They don't know what they got. They literally be holding a chunk of platinum ore, and they're just like, it sucks. And they just sell it. Y'all think I'm joking. It's one of the reasons why those items are so ridiculously rare in the first place. Is that they do drop, but usually people don't know what they're even looking at. There's a guy right in our kinship. His name's Jack, and we all got our little rewards from Akara, you know, the rare ring that she gives you, and the rare ring that he got was 10% FCR. It was like all resistances 10. It had plus strength, plus HP, plus mana, and like every other kind of plus that you could ever want on a caster ring. And he just sold it straight to NPC. Didn't even let anybody know that it existed. He just sold it to NPC. And me, you know, having played with bots, I go in there and I take a look, and I'm like, dude, did you sell this ring? Like, it's freaking godlike. And he's like, yeah, it sucks. He goes, nobody's gonna want that. And I'm like, and I start calling out the stats, and like 3 people in the game are like, I could use that. Yeah, Tong Yang, we're gonna be doing mock ladder tomorrow. I've got it planned. So if you guys are interested in doing the mock ladder with me tomorrow, I mean, you kind of have to have already participated, but I mean, if you're willing to get a character up right now to level 25, without using any items, this is important. So mock ladder is the representation of a ladder. So what did we just talk about for like the past hour? We talked about how using outside items in the ladder is basically cheating, how using money to buy outside items in the ladder is basically cheating, right? So the entire purpose of a mock ladder is to simulate the fresh start that comes with the ladder, which means you can't use any equipment that you've got stored away in your stash. You can only use basically what you find and what other members of the mock ladder find. So, I mean, if you want to try and get a character up to 25 for tomorrow for the mock ladder, you're more than welcome to come along. Where we left off was Act 4 normal difficulty at level 25. I mean, you don't have to be exactly level 25, but you're going to need to be level, at least level 24 for the Ancient's Quest, which we're not there yet, but, you know, you'll have to hit 24 before we get there. I mean, we could help you out with the Ubers. I don't want to make a day out of it, though. I want it to be the mock ladder day. But I mean, we could probably help you with the Ubers if you wanted to run 2 of them. We could knock them out pretty quickly. So that's Wostave. Wostave is an absolutely great halberd. Absolutely amazing for lower level characters. Mercenaries. I mean, just an amazing all-around epic freaking item. Oh, let me bring it over here so you guys can actually see it, so it's not behind my head. 50% open wounds, prevent monster heal, hit blinds target +3, freezes target, slows target 50%, negative 50 monster defense per hit. I mean, like, you throw this on a little low-level merc, and he's good for a while. He's good for a little while. You could even maybe socket it, throw an Amrune in there just for kicks and giggles. But you can also turn this into an Iron Golem. It's actually a very effective Iron Golem because the Iron Golem will get the open wounds, the prevent monster heal, the blinds target, the freezes target, the slows target. He'll get all that, which is absolutely great. I wouldn't necessarily use this on a Necromancer's Mercenary, but I would totally turn this into an Iron Golem, like no hesitation. It would go much better on a non-Necromancer Mercenary.
Good day.
I mean, if you want to go ahead and farm the organs, Tong Yang, I don't know if you can do that. I mean, I don't want to set you up for failure or anything.
Need some help?
Set you up for failure. Where was I going? Travancore. That's right. Aw, -3 light radius. That's okay. You don't want your Iron Golem to be a beacon to the heavens. Oh, like frickin' Zelda finding an item. What's up, Flame Maim? Oh, Lord. Always with them risky teleports in the middle of death and damnation.
I can't.
Mephisto has 0% drain effectiveness, if you guys are unaware. Life Tap does work on him, but Life Tap has to proc first. Most of the time when you're on a character who is relying specifically on Life Tap to proc, it's not a good day. You could theoretically grab a life tap wand, and you could start your life tap out by casting it on him before you go into the battle. It might be a decent idea. No, ladder hasn't started yet, Noir. We're on the way though. They're making progress. We got public test realm up. You know, we can definitely see we're on the right track. I'm gonna take a guess. I already have taken a guess. It's probably gonna be sometime around the end of February, early March. That's my guess. Soul rune suckers. I know you're jealous of my soul rune, don't you lie? Necromancer is actually a really solid starting character for the ladder. I tried it out for the start of Diablo II Resurrected, and I was not disappointed. Necromancer is extremely strong. And some of the changes that they're going to be doing to Necromancer really make me want to choose Necromancer again. They're beefing up the mages, for instance, which is going to be nice. They're also going to be messing around with the bone armor synergies to make bone armor more effective early game, which is definitely nice. And what was one of the other things they said they were doing to Necro? Can't remember right off the top of my head. Oh, the golems. They're going to be beefing up the golems. Golemos. Life tap is valid with Mephisto, but life steal and mana steal does not work on Mephisto. So until life tap procs your SOL, just like that rune I just found. The SOL rune. I got jokes for days, boys. I mean, what are we talking about? Like, fun factor? Is fun a classification in these builds, Chris? Because honestly, most of my builds usually revolve around fun. I like to have fun. Oh wow, +2 paladin, all resistances 29. Too bad it's level 58. That makes it not really that great. Plus, there's a lot of good paladin rune words. Like I said, Tong Yang, you can get yourself a life tap wand to initiate the life tap. Life tap wands have charges, and you would just cast the life tap on Mephisto before you start, and then you could then attack without issue. And hopefully your Dracula's Grasp would obviously kick in and take over after that fact. There's a lot of factors I use to kind of like feel out a build. I have some pretty specific criteria that I like to apply to a character. Number one, can I kill everything? This is a very important one to me. If I am capable of killing everything, or rather, let's flip it around on its head. Are there monsters in the game that I cannot kill? That is a better way of putting it. Is there any monster in the game that I cannot kill? That is a big consideration to me. I like to be able to murderize all monsters. I'm an equal opportunity murderizer. And when I come across a character or a build that is incapable of killing everything, like it doesn't really work very well for specific types of monsters, I don't like it. I don't like it. Some people can be very content with skipping over monsters. I have literally seen lightning Javazons do the cows and leave the cow king and every single monster that's immune to lightning. because I guess it's a waste of time to kill those monsters because they're you know, they're hard to kill, or they're difficult to kill, or they can't kill them, or they're not built in a way that allows them to kill those types of monsters. Those kind of characters I really don't like. I like to build characters that can do everything, that can kill everything, essentially. And because of that, I tend to like some kind of odd builds. Like, for instance, the Conviction Paladin, while he's not the fastest in the world, the Conviction Paladin can literally kill everything. Like, there's nothing in the game he can't do. He can take on the Ubers. He can kill Diablo. He can kill Baal. He can kill Lilith. He can kill Uber Diablo, Uber Baal. It doesn't matter. He's got no problem with any single monster in the game, like, bar none. And he's a little bit slow. But I have a way that I'm thinking about to actually speed him up a little bit, to make him a little bit faster with his kills. It's gonna take me a little bit of time to actually get that build running. It's gonna be kind of expensive, but I think it'll be fun. Summon Necromancer also doesn't have an issue killing anything. Like, I've noticed that Summon Necromancer with Corpse Explosion deals multiple elements and can break immunities, physical immunities, and usually does not have any issue killing any monster in the game either. The only exception to that rule was the poison snakes that were in Neelithak's temple. For some reason or another, they would just absolutely demolish the Necromancer's army, and they no longer do that. They no longer demolish the Necromancer's army, so it doesn't matter. They've been fixed, so I'm not even really worried about them anymore. Bosons. So I know Bosons are not the most powerful characters in the game, and I would definitely say that Bosons have seen their fair share of nerfs, which have made them quite ineffective versus certain targets. But if built properly, a Boson doesn't have anything she can't kill either. You could utilize abilities like Guided Arrow, Ice Arrow, Freezing Arrow, Exploding Arrow, etc., and you can really kill just about everything. You have multiple different element types. You've got fire, you've got cold, you've got magical damage, you've got physical damage, and whatever you come across, you can usually take out with a Boson, which is very fun. And I rather enjoy their kill speed on clusters of monsters. They're not so good with single target, but they're really good on clusters. Like, especially when you get a really nice group of monsters, using Freezing Arrow, you can really just kind of rip through everything. And Magic Arrow can be extremely effective to you know, murderize those targets that are physically immune. A Guided Arrow can be used on those targets that have just massive amounts of defense to make sure you're hitting. You can apply Crushing Blow and Open Wounds and all those nice things. You can also have multiple sets of bows, which is something I really like doing on the Amazon. So, like, you can have one bow that's really good for one particular element, you can have another bow that's really good for another particular element, and you can just swap back and forth as needed. Like for instance, my current Amazon, who's a fire/ice Amazon, she's got Wiz and Draw on one hand for the negative cold resistance, and then she has a Witch Wild String on the other for the level 20 Magic Arrow, so she can swap back and forth between the two different element types. Glass Cannon Boson. I mean, sure. If you're a Boson, you can build evades. Usually you don't have too much trouble building the evades with the Boson, and the evades will actually keep you alive versus most things. They're not so great to build in melee combat, but as a range character, I usually don't have any problem with the evades. In fact, my passives on, my crazy passives on is a Nutso character. I don't even know what to think about her. She's capable of killing everything in the game. I mean, I can't really say that she's not, but it's not particularly fast. So let me get back on track here. So I was talking about qualifiers. So the first qualifier is do I have to skip monsters? So if a class can fulfill that promise of not having to worry about skipping monsters, it's really high in my book because I don't like skipping monsters. We also have other classifications. So can they kill things quickly? Are they single target or multi-target, and can they be both? So a very interesting thing about characters that really makes them very effective is can they do both physical, or sorry, can they do both single target and AoE target damage? So single target is nice because it lets you kill one monster really quickly, but if you don't have AoE damage, you're just doing massive amounts of damage to one target at a time, which takes you a very long time to be able to kill anything. Whereas if you are an AoE damage character who can do massive amounts of damage to, you know, multiple monsters, but you just don't really have the damage to, you know, to kill like a solo target. Lightning Fury Amazons are very iconic with this. Lightning Fury is absolutely great to kill massive numbers of targets, but it's not particularly great for solo single target kills. You have to switch to another ability. And that's kind of how you would look at that. But Lightning Fury Amazons also only deal lightning damage. I'd like to see some way of building those, you know, that actually works out better. Like you can do a Lightning Furies on / Freezing Arrows on, which actually works out pretty nicely, because then you have two elements. Barbed club, huh? What is that? Stout nail? Oh, flesh render. Didn't I just find a flesh render? See, my thing about Charge Strike is this, and it's really kind of a silly one. So when your Lightning Fury's on, you come across a lightning immune, you can't kill it, right? So you're stuck. Usually lightning immune monsters, are one. Like it's the boss, or it's the Cow King, or it's an elite that you find somewhere, right? It's just one monster. Charged Bolt is your single target damage attack as a Lightning Fury's on, and Charged Bolt is also lightning. And so generally Charged Bolt is useless in the scenario when you need it versus the single target monsters that you need to kill. And I've come across this myself with my own lightnings on, is that it sucks to have my single target ability be the one that everything is immune to. Because despite the fact that you can break lightning immunes, there's tons of lightning immunes everywhere. So if you're not running an infinity with your lightning Javas on, you're not going to have much of a very fun time. Yeah, I find the physical damage with the javelin is just too low. I don't know why. Even with like a elite, like ethereal spear, it still doesn't really even do that much. Have I already found Flesh Render? What was that one that I found earlier? Dark Clan Cudgel? Flesh Render. Bink. Save. One more for the pyre. I'm running it on, yeah, Heroku app, yeah. Heroku app. Why? What's up, Jen? You don't like Heroku app? What is wrong?
This place has the stench of demons about it.
Yeah, let's go do the Cow King. The Cow King tends to drop a lot of good items. It's just a website. A Holy Grail tracker. I went to a couple different websites and I tried to find one that was alright looking, and there was a whole bunch of them that were really crappy, and I didn't like how they looked, I didn't like how they interfaced, and this was the only one that really kind of was nice. share it. Oof. I should have used my official email. Because it's on my unofficial email, which I don't like to give out to everybody. On the official email. I guess I could just copy over the files. Stag bow. Oh, Griswold! Give me something good, Mr. Grizzy Biz. You didn't give me nothing good, you suck. Oh, Grizzy Wizzy. Aww. What the hell's with this wand? Look at the freaking elemental damage on this wand for no reason. With ITD. ITD 106 to 148 fire, 1 to 137 lightning, 9% mana steal, replenished life, and fire resistance 40% with 3 to iron gold. ITD, boys. I'm gonna use that ITD wand and get in there and bonk some stuff. Actually, with a wand, it's more like a thwack. It's more like a thwack. Right? I feel like it's more like a thwack. I still remember one time I was doing like a solo self-found kind of a build on one of these videos. It was one of my earlier videos, and I found this staff. It was a freaking gothic staff or whatever, or the battle staff, whatever the normal difficulty one was, right? And I pick it up and I identify it because I'm like, maybe it'll be good to sell, because I wasn't on a sorceress at the time. I was on like a paladin or something. I can't even remember. It was something silly. And I identified the thing, and it was ITD. It had like dual leech. It had like some massive amount of ED on it, and a bunch of other crazy stuff. And I was like, I'm using this thing. This thing's freaking bosses. I don't even know what the hell is what. And I freaking literally rocked a staff for like 4 or 5 acts. And if I remember correctly, I found like an ethereal, like an item that was better, that was ethereal. Used that for a little while till it broke, and then went back to the staff. Always trying to troll me, Kyle. The Bailey Aliots and freeze.
It's locked.
You gotta be bold. Where you at, Cow King? Why ain't got no keys? Better take them keys out, boy. I used my key to open the locked chest, and inside was a single key. Somehow, I feel like there was a joke there. Do I really have a problem with kill speed? If anything, I really just have a problem with teleporting around the map. If I was running an Enigma, I probably would be a little bit faster teleporting around, focusing down targets. Cast speed might help me out a little bit, because my corpse explosion's a little slow. I literally kill an entire wave of cows in like a second. I like to click on chests. It's important for me to click on chests. You don't know how important it is for me to click on these chests. Pretty sure I've already got Saigons on my Grail quest, I think. Saigon! What are those, the gauges? I think they're gauges, right? I do not have the gauges yet on my Holy Grail. Saved. No, they don't, but if you spam Corpse Explosion, it helps to be able to kill things super fast. Exactly. I'm trying to like group them up a little bit so I can kill them all quicker. Ow! Don't be so rude. Where's the dude that just cursed me? One of these guys has got to be an elite. I didn't even see an elite die. How do I kill something? I rely on my golem and my mercenary to make the first kill. I rely on them, and they rely on me. Hey, nice little assortment of items I can add to my Holy Grail. Grand Crown. Hawaiians. I know I don't have that. At least I'm pretty sure I don't have that. Hawaiians Splendor. And then we got the belt, which I'm pretty sure is Asuros. Oh, no, that's Hawaiian's belt too? Well, dang, he just dropped me 2 pieces of the set. He's like, here, you can have 2. We'll get this one out the way for you real quick. Real quick. And then, of course, the Tancred's Crowbill. Tancred! Save. These blade talons F or anything? Let me check these real quick before I leave. +1 assassin. If I listened to Kyle, I would be wearing a tinfoil hat. And I would have a sugar glider. Instead of a Chinchilla. Necros are fun. Not for the people who like to go quick, though. Especially early on. You have to be really patient early on.
Good day.
Rubber baby bubby bump. Champions of the Dead. There's always like 4 or 5 uniques just standing at the door of Naomi Highlands. They're like, hey, what's up, buddy? Shameless camping. I was on the public test realm for a little while earlier. I wanted to do a little bit more of that silly PvP that was going on over there. You know, the pre-made characters that all kind of suck. I thought it was kind of funny. Although by now everybody's swapped out the items to make their crappy PvP characters more effective. But anyway, I'm sitting there. I walked out on my little Hammerden or whatever, and I was trying to smite because I think it's funny smiting on the Hammerden, and literally I died to some dude that was just like spam camping the doorway, and then I tried to get my body, and he just kills me over and over again while I'm naked, and I'm like, yeah, naked kills. Let's go, naked kills. I just logged off. I was like, meh. I can do without the naked kills. Don't need it, don't want it. Okay. Good lord, where the hell's the pits? Somehow I passed the pit by, apparently. I can't throw a chinchilla and watch it fly. Here's a fun one for you, Kyle. Why don't you take your sugar glider and put him in front of a fan? I hear that the sugar gliders will pretend to fly when you put them in front of a fan. The wind flying by them stimulates their wing receptors, and they deploy. Oh yeah, well, my chinchilla can climb up the back of a clock. Alright? Just like scale walls like they're nothing. Superior pike, non-F. I still remember the first time I caught my chinchilla on top of a grandfather clock. You guys know how tall a grandfather clock is, right? And he's on top of this thing, like all the way at the top. And I'm like, how in the ham biscuit did you get on top of the dang grandfather clock? And I'm like, what? There wasn't anything even nearby for him to jump on or anything. Like, it was just sitting in the middle of the floor and kind of like up against the wall. There was nothing nearby. And he's just standing on top of the grandfather clock. And I'm like, okay. So, cryptic sword. So I put him. I had to take him down. I take him off the dang thing, and I'm watching him this time, and I'm trying to pay attention to what he's doing. And he puts his back up against the grandfather clock, and he puts his feet up against the wall, like he's some sort of like cliffhanger character from the movie with Sylvester Stallone. And he literally like pushes his back up against the wall, and he just climbs up like this. And I caught him on camera doing it too, and I actually uploaded it to my YouTube channel. And it's funny because it's the craziest, like, Spider-Man looking thing I've ever seen in my life. He literally just climbs the wall. Sacred feathers, fire claws. They really do. It's like 200 to 300 hairs per follicle, which is nuts. So freaking soft, and luxurious. Luxurious. The luxury is unparalleled. They're also mostly floof. Mostly floof. Oh yeah, I got an F rune, suckers. I know y'all is jealous of my fat ass runes dropping everywhere. Gonna make some stealth. Boo! I mean, we're making progress on the Grail. That's really all that matters. Every item we find is one less item we have to find. One less. Bink. Where's that video at? Dun, 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 dun. Mr. NiNi gets eaten. Oh, that's right. Mr. NiNi does get eaten. They said him's very tasty. That's what they said. That's a nom nom delicious. Nom nom delicious. Here you go, punks. That's Mr. William. As you can see, he has climbed up the grandfather clock, and he is literally using his back and pushing against the clock while his feet are on the wall, and he's just scaling the wall like it's nothing. He's like, oh, he's like, what? I do this for breakfast. He goes, what are you talking about? And he likes to sit on my shoulder. I miss Mr. William. He used to sit there and beg for treats. Little bastard. He used to beg. He's a begging beggar. A little crinkle of a chip bag or something, and he would just come running. Like, oh, you have a chip for me? You hear the chip bag wrinkle, and he's like, your chips? You mean our chips? Our chips, sir, not your chips. Our chips. He goes, get it correct. Our chips. I have a whole video selection of Chinchilla videos, if you'd like to see them. A lot of my my little boys that are no longer with me, unfortunately. Jester, William, Cody, Fatty Lumpkins Jr., Fatty Lumpkins Sr. Well, unfortunately, a lot of them are no longer with me. They were really old. Fatty Lumpkins Sr. was like 17 years old when he died, so I can hardly blame him for leaving me. No, chinchillas are there's another word for it, but it's for lack of a better word, because I can't think of it right off the top of my head, It's the equestrian birth. I don't know if you know what equestrian birth is. Let me look up the term, because I know that's not what it's called. Bow, 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 bow. Bink. I can never remember what the hell it's called. "25 years is the Guinness World Records. No, it's so basically what it is I'll just explain it because I can't remember what the term is called. So when horses are born, you know, horses come out and they have their fur, their eyes are open, they're you know, they're walking, they can run within minutes of being born. You know, they're fully formed, in other words. A lot of animals, when they're born, like even humans, can't walk around. Some animals don't even have their eyes open when they're born. They don't have any hair. You know, there's all these like restrictions in place. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen like a baby squirrel, but baby squirrels are like little pink globules that don't even have eyes or ears or anything. Like when they're born, they're just these little globules with a mouth, little globule mouths. Cats are the same way. You know, cats come out and their eyes aren't open yet, and so forth and so on. But horses and chinchillas share a very interesting thing, that they are both born completely 100% ready for the world. Like literally, chinchillas and horses are both running around, jumping, like just doing crazy stuff. Like from the moment they pop out, they're little bouncing around and stuff, like little like they're little full-grown little chanchulas. This is Cody and Fatty Lumpkins Jr. When they were babies. Cody and Fatty Lumpkins Jr. when they were babies. Let's see if I can bring this up. They were just little teeny babies. I think they were only a couple days old at this particular point, which is not very old at all. Let me tell you what, Cody, the white one right there, was probably one of the best pets I have ever had in my entire life. Just an amazing pet all around. Would hang out with you like a cool little dude. Was fun to play with. Loved to eat treats. Loved scratches. All sorts of cool stuff. I mean, he's a good little buddy. And I was really sad when he died. Very, 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 very sad. Very sad. They live anywhere between like 15 to 25 years, Alexi. Part of the issue with them, though, is that they've been inbred a lot, and some of the inbred ones have like congestive heart failure and things, and they might only live for like 3 years, which is why I usually recommend people to get them from legitimate sources, because a lot of the times they don't live very long if you buy them. You like get rescues and stuff like that because they've been inbred improperly, or they've been really mistreated to the point where they don't live very long, and it's very sad. But I don't want to support people who are inbreeding the chinchillas. If you've never heard of the Chapman story, it's a very interesting story, and basically what it revolves around is the chinchillas were going extinct essentially in their native habitat, which is South America up in the Andes Mountains, and there was getting to the point where there was none left, and this guy named Chapman, he goes down there in a boat during the I think it was like the 40s or something, or maybe even a little bit earlier than that, and he decides he's going to go get them, and he doesn't exactly have noble aspirations. He's getting them because he wants to turn them into a fur trade. You know, he wants to get a certain number and then breed them and use them to make fur coats and things to make a living off of. Well, unbeknownst to him, he got like the last ones in existence, and after he left, like pretty much all the rest of them got hunted into extinction, and the ones that he had literally were like the last ones on the planet, and he bred them and he raised them, and literally at this point there's like millions of them all over the planet, and they literally come from those ones that he rescued at that particular time when he was trying to make a living. And there's actually a picture of him with them on his shoulder, like he has like the chinchillas on his shoulder, just like I have the chinchillas on mine. I think it's really cool. I think he found out they were cool little dudes. That's what I think he found out. Yes, pretty much. It's kind of difficult to explain. I'm gonna say no. And yes. No and yes. So they don't really tend to pee on anything. That's where the yes comes in. Very well behaved when it comes to their urine. Their poo, on the other hand, is these little hard pellets. They're like little rocks, and they care not where they drop them. And they're not squishy. They're not nasty. They don't stink. In fact, you're more likely to like cut your foot on one of them than you are to have some sort of nasty incident. But they drop them everywhere, and you can vacuum them up with a vacuum cleaner. Like, good luck vacuuming up a dog turd. It's absolutely impossible. But you could totally vacuum up a chinchilla turd, no problem. Just throw it right in the trash can. Not even think twice about it. Something about them being desert animals, because they come from the Andes Mountains up in the desert. I guess they suck all the moisture from it, and it's just like little tiny hard rocks. If you've never seen them, so I'll forgive you. They're nothing. Like, it's like they turn into little rocks. They're too small for that. 5-socket scourge. What the hell could I use a 5-socket scourge for? I was trying to think inside my head what the hell 5-socket scourge for good for.
I need mana.
And I can't think of one. Like a really high level CTA? One that actually does damage? I mean, if you're going to go that far, you'd probably want a superior version, right? So you could get the extra damage on it.
Not even death can save you from me.
What's up, Buttface? Buttface! He dropped me nothing good. Nothing! Diablo, Cabablo, Babablo. John. Can I call you John? Can I call you John Jabablo? Let's go try an 8-player game, shall we? What do we got here? This one's 6 players, 10 minutes. That's not too long. 0-2-0, 30 minutes. What are they doing? 0-2-0, 30? I don't know about that one. 30 minutes is a rather long time. 30 minutes is a rather long time. Chaos Run 14, 2 minutes. 2 Minaru. My luck, they won't have Anya. No Anya, no Pindel Portal.
I need mana.
Taking advantage of their game. It's a little bit difficult to magic find in Players 8, but might get lucky on some drops. Hey, Storm Guild. Pindle didn't even die yet. Hey, skeletons, what are you doing over there? He's stone skin. That explains that. Let me focus my army on him a little bit better. Stone skins are a little bit more difficult to kill. Hey, an Alma Negra. Did I find an Alma Negra already? It's a little bit rare. It's not like super rare, but it's a little bit rare. I have 3 items to add to my list. Sweet. And unfortunately, everybody's gone. Just like that. Everybody's gone. Let me put these items into my Holy Grail before I forget. Storm Guild. Yes, Guild of the Storm. Bink. Rites of Passage boots. Rite of Passage. Bink, 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 bink. And then we also got an Alma Negra. Alma Negra's a good find. Kind of excited about that one. Little bit. Rarity-wise, I don't normally see Alma Negras all that often. Although I might see 20 of them by the time I'm finished with the Grail. Who knows? But it's off the list, and that's all that matters.
It's off the list.
Hey, Treads of the Sithon. Treads of the Suthon. Hey, the treads of the Sithon. Hey, the treads of the Sithon. The treads of the Sithon. I'm gonna see about 100 of those before the before the rail's over too. They're pretty useful for low-level characters. That's about it. I mean, they're 30% faster run walk boots. They're low strength requirement, low level requirement. They're pretty good for any level 15 character. And heck, you find them when you're level 15 and you're like beginning of ladder. You're gonna be super excited. You're gonna be like, "Oh my God, Dreads of Zidon!" You're gonna pair that up with a stealth armor, and you're gonna be rocking 30% plus the run speed walk on stealth, and you're gonna be flying through. Oh, the pally shield. I'm gonna do a video on the pally shield eventually. Eventually. Budget Sanic. That's right. Sanic's got to start somewhere, alright? Every Sanic has to start somewhere. Stop healing your teammates! Ow! Great sword. +1 to masteries. It's a large Jeremy. Ah. Did you guys ever play the Final Fantasy game where you could dual wield shields? I thought it was hilarious. I had like an entire group of Final Fantasy characters all dual wielding shields. Oh, the hilarity. Final Fantasy games are fun. They're hit or miss. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Final Fantasy VI was amazing. I loved Final Fantasy VI. Final Fantasy 1 is very iconic too. I actually really like Final Fantasy 1. That is dangerous as all get out. So. Any juicy drops? You know, none yet. Alma Negra is probably one of the rarest items I've found so far. Cerebus Bite and Alma Negra. %, ED, 1 Saka. Problem with Final Fantasy 11 though is you need friends. I spent years, nearly a decade, building up a friend database of people that I could play with on Final Fantasy 11. I just don't really see that happening again. And the amount of time that I spent on my characters in Final Fantasy 11. Just I'm never going to be able to duplicate that ever. Ever, ever. I just couldn't see myself starting over in Final Fantasy 11. There was just too much. There is a new theory crafting video, Samael. There is indeed. Sanic the Hooge Hag. TM, trademark. Sanic the Hooge Hag. Da, 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 da. Coming for your na na na. Da, 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 da. Chrono Trigger was great too. I absolutely loved Chrono Trigger. Also, technically kind of like a Final Fantasy game. It's made by Square. Around the same time period as all the Final Fantasy games. Just, you know, wasn't Final Fantasy. So here's a little bit of trivia. Does anybody in chat know why Final Fantasy 1, which was not Final Fantasy 1 by the way, it was just Final Fantasy. Does anybody know why Final Fantasy was called Final Fantasy? What is the reason behind the name? What is the purpose of them calling it Final Fantasy? I mean, as we know now, there have been like 16 or 17 Final Fantasies. So obviously at this point, it wasn't actually supposed to mean what we think it means. But there is an actual reason why it was called Final Fantasy. Does anybody know the reason? That is correct, Slime Bucket. So basically, when they made the game, it was their last-ditch effort. They put their entire rest of their budget into the game, and they were not going to be able to make another one. So if that game had failed, Square Enix would have failed, and so they named it appropriately. They named it their Final Fantasy, and thankfully, it succeeded. Because if it hadn't succeeded, we wouldn't have any of the other Final Fantasy games.
It's locked.
And that bad boy was on NES. And I had it. And I could not beat it on NES. Can anybody guess why I could not beat that game on Nintendo? On the original Nintendo Entertainment System? Good guesses, but no. No. Because the frickin' game wouldn't keep its save files. If you turned the Nintendo Entertainment System off, the save files would disappear. You had to leave the Nintendo on. That was the only way you could save the game. If you left the Nintendo on, it would keep your save files. But as soon as the Nintendo Entertainment System turned off, even for a fraction of a second, all the save files would disappear. And that game was ridiculously rare. It was very hard to come by. So I would play for hours and hours and hours, and I would get really far. And then
It's locked.
my dad would literally walk in the room and he would stomp a little bit too hard. I don't know if you remember, but the Nintendo was a little finicky, and literally all you had to do was like stomp and the Nintendo would reset.
I need a key.
All it took was one good stomp, and all my progress was
I
wiped.
need a key.
Clean as a slate. Hated it. Hated it. Not a lot of Nintendo games even had any kind of save progress either. Like I remember my sister Corey, she used to absolutely love to play Super Adventure Island. That was her jam. She would get so far in that game, and there was no saves. And when she had to go to school or something like that, she would just pause it and she would just leave it there. That was her save. And as long as nobody bumped the NES or the power didn't go out or something, she'd come back and she'd pick up playing it. But a lot of the times it would just get reset. Twin-tailed comet remembers. So I'm actually planning to do a playthrough of a game that I don't know if you guys have actually played it or not. Doesn't really matter. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and whether you like it or not, I'm probably still going to do it. It's called Shadowrun, and it's for the Sega Genesis. Believe it or not, the two games are not the same. The Sega Genesis version and the Super Nintendo version were two completely different games. And I absolutely adored the Sega Genesis version, the Shadowrun series. One of my favorite series in general. Love the music, love the ambiance, love the way it plays. It's very much like a hack and slash, almost sort of like top-down game in an RPG world where you build up your characters. It's very, very cool. I'm sure the graphics are awful. But, give me Sega Genesis. What do you expect? Newly released trailer for what? Oh, Path of Exile? No, I'm not super excited about Path of Exile. That game is just too complicated for its own good. And I love complicated games. Really all there is to it.
Tell me your troubles.
We're doing Bailey Alio. Oh, you're in Throne of Destruction. I thought we were running there. Die, 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 die. I'm shooting teeth, boys. The most impressive skill that ever existed known to man.
The power of these teeth, you know not.
Twin axe. And a thresher. What's this thresher? Nothing too good. I got me a twin axe though, boys. You know, I actually enjoyed playing EVE Online. I really did. I thought EVE Online was rather fun. But, it got turned into something else, and I ended up selling my account and moving on. You could legitimately sell your account on EVE Online. Back in the day, anyway. I don't know about now. They might have changed the ULA. But when I sold my account, I got like $300 and some odd dollars for it. It was a good deal. I played it. I had fun. I didn't like how in EVE Online you could literally die and lose everything to people who were camping the warp point. But other than that, you know, it was a fun game. I kind of wish there was more of a PvP scene in that game, like somewhere where you could go just to PvP. You know, not necessarily like world conflict where you're losing all of your stuff, but maybe like I wish there was like some sort of like virtual area perhaps that like you could participate in, where it would literally just be one system, and like you would spawn in with your ship, whatever your configuration was, and anything that you lost in there would be, you know, like not important. So you would obviously not actually lose it. I always thought that would have been a really cool idea, because a lot of people were so afraid to lose everything that they wouldn't actually fight with you. It was pretty much just run away until you had them outnumbered, which wasn't as fun. No high runes. I got a gull rune earlier. I think that's about the highest that we've found so far, is a gull rune. I guess that's a high rune. It's a 0.5 a high rune. Well, I mean, I quit like 2 decades ago, Joeyna. That's nice to know it's up there, though. Let me see if I can date properly. If you know enough about EVE Online, Joeyna, let me see if I can date myself properly to the exact time period when I left. So right when I left, like literally, I want to say like within a month or two when I left, they had just introduced the new skill for it was like a world ship or something. Like the biggest ship that they had at the time was like a battleship or something, and it was, I think it was like 6 or 7 lasers or 8 lasers or something, like mining lasers and stuff that you could put on it. And they had just introduced the skill for this giant like world cargo ship or some crazy thing. I can't remember the name of it exactly. And right when I left, my character was researching the skill for that particular ship. And the ship wasn't out yet, so it wasn't actually in the game yet, but the skill was in the game. And that's basically when I sold my account and moved on. Ooh, ethereal. Ethereal no sockets. Ethereal no socket. Ethereal no socket. Up until that point, there was no giant ships in the game. It was just like, it was like the fighters, and then it went to like the cruisers, and then there was like the battleships, and that was it. Like there was never anything bigger than that. +2 summon, +1 summon resist, +1 to cripify. It's actually a pretty darn sweet wand for level 41. I'll hold on to that. Maybe I'll give it to somebody. Let me roll the sockets on this bad boy. See if I get anything good. Ethbeck to Corbin is not bad for maybe like an insight or something like that. I'm trying to remember what the class of because you know I remember there was like a bunch of different classes in EVE Online of like types of ships, like alien ships and stuff like that, or like corporations that made the ships. The corporation that I was, or the class of ship that I had trained down, I believe was the one that kind of resembles the character in Portal. You know those little white sort of like robot little things in Portal. What the hell was it called? There's probably no way I'm ever gonna to find it. You can probably customize the color of your ships now too, which probably doesn't help. The oldest ship imaginable. I bet you I could draw it for you and you know what the hell it was. I'm pretty sure I just lost everything. If I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure I just lost everything. I think one day there was some kind of war that was going on the outskirts of one of the unprotected systems, and I was trying to get there in my battleship to fight. I wanted to join the fight. I wanted to have fun teleporting around, you know, warping around the system and trying to do hit and run tactics and maybe even just you know, salvage parts from battles that you know, had already taken place. And I remember I got to one of the warp gates, and there was just like an entire army of ships, just like an armada of ships, and they were just waiting at the warp gate. And before I even loaded in, before I even loaded in, I was already dead. And I think that was what convinced me to stop playing. Because at that moment I lost a lot. Like there was a lot that I lost. And I didn't even have a chance to load into the game before I was dead. Like people get mad. People get mad when you die to Duriel. Like if you're loading in and you die to Duriel before Duriel, you know, before you are able to actually do anything and Duriel kills you. And that's just losing a regular character that you can revive in town. Can you imagine losing like literally like months and months of work in your ship before you even load in? Like the difference there is immeasurable. It would be like, you know what it would be like? It would be like losing a hardcore level 95 character to a fully geared, by the way, like a hardcore fully geared level 95 character to Duriel in hill difficulty. Large shimmy. Ooh, that's not bad. 5 strength, 63 attack rating. That's actually not bad at all. I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. And you know, people say that, but then you really can't do anything. Like you're either in some sort of giant mega corporation that can afford to lose like stellar cartography ships the size of a sun, or you're by yourself and the only thing you can afford to lose is like a little tiny fighter ship which can't fight anything.
Yes?
Bow, bow, bow. Ral Am P Amethyst. I don't have a P Amethyst. Great. Guess this is going in the stash till I get a P Amethyst. What the hell? This is the first time I've seen my Merc die in a long time. Who the hell killed my Merc? That's like a once in a month occurrence for my Necromancer. He just wrecks. Jaw Rune Chaos. Nice, buddy. Congratulations. I'm glad somebody found a Jaw Rune. We are the champions, my friend. Bow, wow, wow, wow. F. Emilio. Speaking of, I want my merc back. I want my merc back. I want my dog back. I want my best friend's dog back. I want my truck back. I want my sink back. I want my toilet in the back. Meh. Not as good as the other one. Actually, hold on. 5 to 10. No. I thought that song was hilarious when it first came out. What do you get when you play a country song backwards? Oh, you get your wife back, you get your dog back, you get your best friend back. Yeah. Terrible. Another 5-socket Scourge. Loose boulder. The loosest of boulders. You never heard that song, Legend Dusty? It's a real song.
It's locked.
I promise you, it's a real song. It is real. Ooh, Overseer Skull. I like Overseer Skulls. Yeah, there's a bunch of funny songs like that. Country songs are hilarious. One of my favorites is this weird country song that goes something along the lines of my girlfriend left me today, and I'm not feeling great. You know, it's like really, really slow, and all of a sudden, like right in the middle of the song, when he's singing like this really slow, drawn out song, and he's like, and that's why I went down to the beach for the weekend. I went skinny dipping at the beach end. And it's hilarious because like the moment that like the whole tune of the song changes and he picks up the tempo, and you know he's not sad. He's not sad at all. he's not sad. Uh-oh, blade buckle added to the list. I'm doing a Holy Grail, suckers. Don't be stealing my items. I want every little goblin toe and little sky crack bow and everything. Y'all just back off. You don't need them frosties. It has been sullied. It's not been sullied. I was in the game when it fell. I was in the area when it fell. Those are the two qualifications that I will put on the table. I was in the area. I was in the party. And I will put 3. I was in the area. I was in the party, and I was in the game. So those 3 kind of qualifications. If I wasn't in the area when it dropped, then no. I was in the area though. So I probably participated in the kill of that monster. It's not that big of a deal. One of my skeletons probably went over there and slashed him like a couple times. It'd be fine. It's a blade buckle. It's not like I'm gonna find. I'm gonna find like 1,800 of those. Don't worry about it. Did I kill freaking Treehead Woodfist yet? Keep getting distracted. Oh, Treehead. Oh, buddy, old pal. Oh, I did kill Treehead already. Sadness. I always like to pretend that Treehead is like some sort of old guardian. Here, let me see if I can portray him properly. Hold on, I gotta arrange my gems first.
Eons ago, a wise wizard once gave me the task of guarding the Tree of Infus, and for eons I have stood guard here at this tree and prevented all from sullying it. And to this day my record is unblanched. I, the mighty Treehead Woodfist, shall protect the tree forever. Then in comes the hero, murders him, takes the scroll. Oh, it's terrible. All he wanted to do was protect the tree. That's all he wanted to do. That was his job. That's all he wanted. And this guy is like super immune to physical. He's stone skin and he's already immune to physical, which means he's like 100 and what, like 50% immune. I'm not gonna be able to break him with amp. I'm gonna tell you that much. I don't think there's any way I'm gonna kill him unless I get a couple more corpse explosions in here. Oh my god, why are you being so rude? Stop it. If only I was wearing 3 pieces of trash. What's up, Bonash? Nothing good from your punk face. Who else can we test for loot? Surely there will be one other. I know what. Let's do Beetleburst. Beetleburst is probably going to help me something good. Beetleburst, Beetleburst, come on in. Beetleburst, you're the worst, you're the worst. Come on in, Beetleburst. Oh, Beetleburst. If you can't tell by his name, Beetleburst is indeed a beetle. I'm going to let you guys know right now. Beetleburst is indeed a beetle. I know it's not apparent by his name. It's not like his name has beetle in it or anything, but he is indeed a beetle. Okay? I promise he is a beetle. The beetlest of beetles. The king of beetles. I hate how they go under the sand like that. Like he left a little donut. What? A poop beetle? Freaking holy freeze. Die in the fires of Gehenna. Oh, Beetleburst, oh, Beetleburst. Everyone knows you are the worst. Your lightning is so very foul. I really don't want a towel. Oh, Beetleburst, oh, Beetleburst. You really are the worst. I should have found him by now. He's got to be right over here. Ah. Or maybe not. Okay, that's a lot of beetles. Maybe he's in that beetle pile somewhere. I don't know. That's a lot of beetles. That is an excessively large number of beetalises. Look here, beetalises. Ow! Why are you so rude? Die. Well, might be a dung beetle. I'm full on gold again. I'm literally just walking over massive piles of gold. Just don't even bother to pick them up. Whatever. Oh, there's the ladder right there. He's got to be right here then. Why you got to be up the ladder, Beetleburst? Just because you got the high ground. There he is, right there. Mr. Beetleburst himself. Come on, Beetleburst. I got a lightning shrine. I'm not scared of you. Ow, why are you gonna be rude? Die, Beetleburst. All that way for a Soulflay Claymore. That's already on the list. It's already on the list. You bastard. No duplicates, Beetleburst.
I am overburdened.
Hoe bag.
I can't.
Honk.
Good day.
Alright, I'm pretty sure this game's been picked clean. You know what? I got one ace up my sleeve. Let's go to the Glacial Trail Zone. There's actually usually some pretty nice drops in this level 85 zone. I just need to find it. Lots of chests, lots of champions, lots of super uniques. Really high concentration. Not good for, okay, murder my... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Frickin'. I was wondering how my Mercenary just died, and I look behind me, and there's like a frickin' 2 packs of elite Death Lords. Not the greatest thing to see behind you when your army is in front of you. Another Lancevia guy. I'm pretty sure I already have that on my list. I'm like 99% sure I have that on my list already. Still checks anyway. And I do. Oh, look at all them beautiful champions. Oh God! Ooh, a Superior Crusader's bow. I wonder what it's got on it. Could make a very good mercenary item. 3 to attack rating. Woo! Where's my thing? I out of here with your giant. There it is. Finally. The Drifter Cat. Might as well kill these champions while I'm out here. Hey, war boots. 30% faster run walk with 19% better MF and 45% extra gold for monsters. I don't even know if I could take mine off. Wanted to go put this gold in the stash before I forget again. I keep forgetting to put my gold in the stash. Doesn't help me. Archers make absolutely amazing revives. I'll grab a couple of these for my own purposes. So do these moon lords. Swaya. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Hey, a poly rune. I like poly runes. Those are useful for upgrading. It's not a jaw rune, but it's a pole rune. I'll take a pole rune. Damn. Ah, you little champion bastards. Whole army of you stupid champions. Literally. Woo. Risky propositions.
I need a key.
No, I need a key. Oh god. God, these archers just spread out to the four winds, don't they? Boo, nothing good in here. Alright, ladies and germs, I think I'm going to call it a night. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing some more mock ladder. If you are unaware of what mock ladder is, let me go over it one more time. So mock ladder is basically where we pretend we are going to be in a real ladder, which means that we have no access to any equipment which we have stored up, and the only equipment that we are allowed to use is what we actually find. We're in a little group, and if you would like to join us, I mean, that's fine. But we are level 25 right now, and we're in Act 4, and we're probably not going to wait for you. So you would have to get there in advance of when the ladder starts, the mock ladder. The mock ladder should start tomorrow around 4 EST. So 4 o'clock EST, you can come join us on the mock ladder. We have a Discord set up, so if you want to come in, we do have Discord. You can join us there. We're not going to do mock ladder on the PTR because all the characters are going to get deleted on PTR after it's over. Maybe when 2.4 PTR comes out. Maybe. Do me a favor and go look at my silly Theorycraft video that I just did. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but I did just post a Sanic the Hooge Hag video, which I thought was pretty funny myself, if I do say so myself. Sanic the Hooge Hag, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos. I always do. Definitely couldn't do this stuff without you guys. And keep watching.